Hi, I'm Ann Katzeff of Ask Design. Welcome. Today I'm talking about building my first WordPress blog theme, part 3, which is all about configuring the header. The header is the top section of a web page. Typically the logo, the site title, the navigation, and perhaps the tagline reside in the header. In this phase 3, I delved deeper into templates and gained an understanding of a couple new concepts, template parts and patterns. Let's see how all the puzzle pieces work together. I started with what I knew. I knew that block themes offered a variety of layout presets called templates, so that's where I started. To get there, let's go to the dashboard. Appearance, scoot over to Editor, click on that, and in the design listing, you have templates. In the templates section, you'll see a list of all the theme's default templates, as well as any custom templates that you may have created or inherited. Click on a few of them to get a sense of their general construction. I soon discovered that a template is comprised of these different areas, usually a header and a footer with content between them. At the bottom of the templates section list, click on Manage All Templates. The default view is a table listing all of the templates with a brief description of each. I prefer the grid view, and to get the grid view, you go up to this icon here, View Options, click on that, Layout and Grid, and that gives you a preview of the different templates. There are several ways to navigate to the template you want to edit. In each of the methods I describe, we'll begin in the Templates section, and we'll use the index template in all of our examples. So let's go back to this area, click on the index template, and click on the content area, open up the list view, open up things a little bit further until you find, let's say, the site logo, which we want to enlarge. So you can enlarge it this way by clicking and dragging, or dragging that. Once you like the size, you want to save. Let's go up to the right, top right area, Save. It says, are you ready to save? There is one site change waiting to be saved, and oh my goodness, it says it's a template part. Let's click Save again, and that should be it. Let's go to method number 2, back in the templates section, index. We will click on that, and then we will select the header itself or the logo. And if you select the logo that way, now all of a sudden you have to edit the template part. Interesting. Okay, let's go to method number 3, which is back to our templates list, the index. Rather than clicking anywhere in the content area, let's go directly to the areas and click on the header. And right here, it says this is the header. I've named it default header, template part. Okay, wonderful. Select the logo and enlarge or reduce the size. It says here it's a template part. So when you go through the area part of the templates, it's more clearly labeled template part. Let's click Save. Are you ready to save? Template part. So everything is consistent in that method. Examining the templates really explained a lot of things to me, and I had a couple of aha moments. One was that areas are template parts, and the use of the labels gets confusing. A simple UI fix would be something like this. Let's go back. Bear with me. Index. A simple UI fix would be right next to the label areas, put in parentheses template parts. That would explain a lot right there. The other aha moment I had was that template parts are actually templates. They're simply smaller pieces of a larger template. The whole block system began to make more sense to me. Blocks are put together to form template parts. Template parts are placed inside templates to build layouts. I encourage you to be brave and curious and explore on your own. Now, I came across a pain point. There are joys and there are pains to developing my first block theme. So this pain point was, where are the template parts? So let's go searching for them. In my previous post of the series, part 2, which was all about navigation, I discovered that template parts are grouped together in the patterns section of the site editor. So it's not exactly a pain point, but more of a hierarchy and user experience for me. On the one hand, I get the connection. Patterns are often used to create template parts. On the other hand, it feels more natural to group template parts with templates. In my mind, the sequence begins with the smallest item, which is a block, and then grows as we group blocks into patterns, patterns into template parts into templates. Nonetheless, let's go to the design section, and it says here, it even warns us, looking for a template part, find them in patterns. Okay, so we click on patterns, and the template part section is underneath all of the patterns right here. Let me scroll again. All of these are patterns, and here are the template parts. You'll have at least one default header and perhaps others that you may have created. Let's go and select the header that we want. We can select the default header. Creating the header was a lot of fun. My design involved placing a logo aligned on the left side, the navigation aligned on the right side, and a tagline in between the logo and the nav menu, plus the site title I put underneath the logo. Here's the evolution of what I started with and the in-between steps. I started with the original header, had a white background and no styling applied. Then I copied this pattern from the WordPress patterns directory with a black background, and after some revisions, this is what I ended up with, my revised header with a blue background. So I wanted to end up here, but I started with the default header and I played around with various things. I transformed groups to stacks, rows, columns. I used the list view. I selected different elements, moved them around, changed colors. I got close to the results I wanted, but it wasn't exact enough. So my next pain point was patterns, because I knew that they existed, but I wasn't entirely clear about how to use them. So I explored all the patterns that are included with the 2024 theme, and patterns take blocks to the next level. They're sets of blocks pieced together to form a layout. A terrific explanation can be found on the Jetpack blog, and I'll include that link in the description below the tutorial. You can see all these default categories. Footer is among them, but surprisingly, headers are not. I found a lot of interesting designs, but none were quite right. My list does include the headers category because I created 2 patterns. That headers category is not normally in the default list. Anyway, I searched through these wonderful patterns, got inspired, didn't find quite what I wanted, so I went to the WordPress.org patterns directory. Let's go to all, and it's just a wonderful world of patterns here. I narrowed it down by filtering to the headers and curated. Curated means that they've been vetted by the WordPress.org community. I found this one that I really liked. It's simple to copy what you like. If you hover over it, you just get that copy button and copy it. So you do that. If you are logged into your .org account, you can favorite, which is very helpful if you want to return to it and use it again. So it's simple. You just copy the code, and then we go back to our site and back to the patterns. We'll create a new pattern by clicking on the plus symbol. Create a pattern. This is just for a demo, and you can add it to categories, right? So we'll add it to the headers. There we go, headers. You do want it to have it synced so that any changes you make to it will be applied wherever the pattern is being used. Let's create it. Okay. And then we'll open up the list view too. I like that. Just paste what you've got. And there you go. Click Save. Are you ready to save? There's one site change. Patterns, the demo. Okay, wonderful. Inevitably, you'll need to make some modifications to the pattern. Let's go back to our patterns list, find the pattern that you want to edit. We know that it's a header. Let's select the demo one, and let's go to the list view, open it up. Okay. And this row I changed to a stack, and I centered it. Let's see, justify, like that. I also inserted a new row centered between the site title and the navigation. So I selected the stack, and let's add after \row or R for row. And I added the site tagline. So let's find that. Tagline, maybe it's under S. Site tagline, there we go. Let's style it. Let's make it white. Okay. I selected the whole thing, and I think I aligned bottom, but you can play around with that as well. Let's go align bottom. And then I changed the entire background from black to blue and made sure everything was full width. There we go. And that should be enough for now. Let's save. Save. I want to pause for a minute and show you that in our headers area, you've got these symbols. If you hover over it, it says editing this pattern will also update anywhere it is used. So that's what that symbol means. And it's synced. Remember when we created a new pattern, we made sure it was synced. Now let's apply the pattern to a template part. There are multiple ways to do this. I know you can start with a brand new template part or duplicate an existing one. I like to go with the duplication option. So in the patterns area, go to the header that you want. We'll duplicate the default header and name it demo. Demo blue. Duplicate. And let's click on the content area, open up the list view. Here is everything in the list view. Select that group, add before, and type a backslash. Find the pattern that you want. This is the one, and it's that simple. Okay. We can now delete the original group and save. Template part, header with blue background, reuse this design across your site. Save. Are you ready to save? It's saving a new to the template part, header default demo blue, and we're done. And now for the final step, we will apply the newly revised template part to a template. So let's go back to our template list, index, click on the content area, open up the list view, open up that group. We've got the default header here. Remember, no styling in this default one. And it's as easy as clicking on the options and replacing. And then you have all these wonderful template parts to choose from. So select the one that you want and then save the file. We'll click on this and then click Save. Now, wherever you want this new template part, you'll have to open up each one and replace the template part for each template that you want the new template part to appear in. I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If you have any questions or thoughts, join the journey. Share your experiences. Comments are most welcome. We learn by sharing our pain points, sharing our joys, all of it. And I thank you for your time.